The morning sun cast a gold haze across the frontier, as Jared Boone guided the stagecoach down the long stretch of trail between Redwater Crossing and Silver Mesa. He'd been a cowboy most his life, but lately, stagecoach driving paid steadier and kept him out of cattle feuds. Or so he hoped. Passengers climbed aboard, merchants, travelers, dreamers. But one woman stood out the moment she approached. She moved with quiet purpose, her brown cloak pulled low, a glint of steel in her eyes. Selena. She paid her fare without a word, her hands steady despite the tension in her jaw. Jared tipped his hat, watching her take the back corner seat. Something about her didn't match the other passengers. Too alert, too aware of every sound, the wheels rolled through dust and silence before Jared finally asked, "First time riding this route, Miss?" Selena hesitated, then nodded. "Just passing through." Her voice was soft but guarded. Jared sensed she had rehearsed that answer. Before he could ask more, a distant rumble grew behind them. Horses, fast ones. Jared's instincts sharpened. He flicked the reins and leaned off the side to look back. A cloud of riders approached, dark coats flapping, rifles in hand. Selena stiffened. "How far?" Jared turned sharply. "Close enough. You expecting company?" Her eyes met his clear, fierce, unspoken stories swirling behind them. She exhaled hard. "If they catch me, everyone on this coach is in danger." Jared's stomach dropped. "Why?" Selena opened her cloak, just enough to reveal a leather-bound packet strapped to her waist. "Because they want this, and they want me dead." Jared blinked. "You, a thief?" "No," she whispered. "I'm a spy." Before he could process her words, gunfire cracked through the air. Passengers screamed. Jared snapped the reins. "Hold on," he shouted. The stagecoach lunged forward as bullets tore through the dust. Selena braced herself, eyes glowing with a bold, reckless fire. Whatever she was running from had just found her, and Jared realized he now had a choice: let danger claim them, or ride straight into it with her. Gunfire echoed through the canyon walls as the stagecoach thundered ahead. Jared leaned low over the reins, steering the horses through jagged rock. Dust sprayed behind the wheels, while Selena crouched inside, calming the terrified passengers. The gang was gaining ground. "Who are they?" Jared yelled over the wind. "Black Ridge Gang," Selena answered, her voice a mix of regret and steel. "They've been hunting me for weeks. I have information that could shut them down." She pulled a small revolver from inside her cloak. Not fancy, not new, but well used. Jared stared. "You really weren't planning to tell anyone before getting on my You weren't supposed to be part of this," she shot back. The bullet clipped the side of the coach, splintering wood. Jared's jaw tightened. "Well, I am now." Together, they formed a plan in seconds. Jared swung the coach hard left toward a narrow canyon, one too tight for a group of riders to enter at once. Selena leaned out the window and fired a warning shot. The gang slowed. Moments later, the stagecoach skidded into the tight pass, out of direct gunfire. The gang's leader yelled orders from behind the rocks, echoing like thunder. Jared pulled the horses to a stop. His pulse hammered. "We need to get the passengers to safety. There's an old mine up ahead. They won't risk a gunfight in tight quarters." Selena nodded. He looked at her, really looked strong, determined, dangerous in a way he couldn't explain. "I'm not letting you face them alone." For a moment, her hardened expression softened. A hint of gratitude, or something warmer, flickered in her eyes. They guided the frightened passengers to the abandoned mine. Only when everyone was inside did Selena allow herself a breath. "You don't even know me," she whispered. Jared shrugged lightly. "Don't need to. I just know right from wrong." She stared at him in the dim light. "Most men don't choose the dangerous side." Jared met her gaze steadily. "I never was much for easy roads." Outside, the gang's shadows grew. Their hunt wasn't over, and neither were the sparks beginning to rise between the cowboy and the spy. The mine was dark, cold, and narrow, but it offered shelter. The passengers huddled deep inside, while Jared and Selena positioned themselves near the entrance. Torches flickered in the distance. Black Ridge Riders searching the canyon. Jared checked his rifle. They ain't giving up. Selena tightened her grip on her revolver. They can't. I stole something that proves they've been planning a takeover of half the frontier. Every sheriff between here and Copper Gulch is on the edge. You got guts, Jared said softly. She smirked. Or no sense. The gang reached the mine entrance. Jared and Selena exchanged one last look. Silent trust forming between strangers. Gunfire erupted. Sparks flew off the rocks as bullets struck. Jared fired back with sharp precision. Selena moved like she had trained for years, taking fast, accurate shots. You sure you're a spy and not an outlaw? Jared shouted. She smirked. Who says I can't be both? Despite danger closing in, Jared felt something shift. Her courage stirred something deep in him, something he thought he'd buried. The gunfight intensified. A gang member rushed the entrance, but Selena knocked him down with a swift kick, then disarmed him. Jared stared in awe. You kick like that often? Only when someone's trying to kill me, she replied, slightly breathless. They fought side by side until the gang withdrew temporarily, regrouping outside. Jared leaned against the wall, chest heaving. They'll come again. Selena studied him with new softness. You didn't have to help. You didn't have to stay. He met her gaze. And leave you to fight alone. Her voice lowered. Why risk your life for me? Jared swallowed. Because I couldn't stand the thought of something happening to you. The truth stunned them both. For a moment, the world outside fell quiet. Only their breaths filled the darkness. Selena stepped closer. Jared, don't. Too late, he whispered. Before either could say another word, the gang outside roared, charging the mine again. Whatever feelings had begun to form would have to survive the fire, now coming for them both. The mine shook as the Black Ridge gang stormed forward. Jared and Selena retreated deeper, guiding passengers through a back tunnel that led to an emergency exit from the old mining days. They'll trap us if we don't move fast, Selena warned. Jared nodded, helping the last passenger crawl through the narrow tunnel. You go first. I'm not leaving you. Selena. His tone left no argument. She hesitated, then begrudgingly crawled through the passage. Jared followed, hearing gunshots ricochet behind them. They emerged onto a high ridge, overlooking Canyon Hollow. Wind whipped their clothes as the gang circled below, searching. Selena crouched beside Jared. We can lose them in the brush if we move now. But Jared watched the gang's leader Dawson Black, giving orders. They'll keep chasing you, chasing all of us. Selena's jaw clenched. I know. Jared touched her arm gently. Then we end it. A plan formed. Dangerous, bold, desperate. They would use the ridge's narrow choke point to force Dawson's riders into a single-file entry. With the advantage of height, they had one chance to break the gang's formation and scatter them. Selena's heart pounded. If this goes wrong, we won't survive. Jared offered a faint smile. Then we better make it go right. They took their positions as the gang climbed the ridge. Dust clouds rose. Horses struggled on the incline. Jared steadied his rifle. Selena readied her last bullets. Ready? He asked. Selena glanced at him. For anything. The first rider came into range. Jared fired. Selena followed. Chaos erupted. Horses bucking, men shouting, dust blinding. Their combined fire created confusion, forcing Dawson to pull back. But Dawson himself charged forward, determined to reach them. Jared fought him hand to hand, as Selena dueled another gang member with desperate kicks and punches. Dawson lunged with a knife. Jared blocked. Selena struck him from the side, disarming him. Breathless, they stood together as the remaining gang fled into the canyon. It was over. Jared turned to Selena, his voice soft. You, all right? She nodded slowly. Thanks to you. But her eyes held something deeper, something unspoken, and the weight of almost losing each other hung heavy in the desert air. For the first time in hours, silence settled across the canyon. The passengers were safe, the gang scattered, and the sun dipped low over the horizon. Selena stood with Jared on the ridge, wind tugging softly at her cloak. She had spent weeks running alone, hunted, hardened. But here, beside him, she felt something she hadn't felt in years. Peace. Jared leaned his rifle against a rock. What happens now? Selena removed the leather packet from her waist, the evidence she'd risked her life to protect. I take this to the marshal in Copper Gulch. With Dawson gone, the rest of the gang will crumble. That's good, Jared replied quietly. She turned to him. But what happens to us? The question hung between them like smoke. Jared had fought beside her, protected her, trusted her, without knowing the whole truth. And somewhere between bullets and fear, she had fallen for him. Jared stepped closer, brushing dust from her cheek. I ain't letting you ride off alone again. Her breath caught. Jared, I know your road's dangerous, but if you'll have me, I'll ride beside you. Her eyes softened, shimmering like dusklight. You'd leave your life here for mine. He nodded. Only life I want now is the one where you're in it. Selena exhaled, her guard breaking. She touched his chest, gently. Then stay with me. He pulled her close, and for the first time, their lips met soft at first, then deep, full of gratitude and promise. When they finally parted, she whispered, You're sure about this? Jared smiled. Never been more sure. They rode the stagecoach toward Copper Gulch together. Side by side, no longer strangers, but partners, in danger, in duty, and in love. And as the sun dipped below the frontier, Selena rested her head against Jared's shoulder, knowing she'd found something even rarer than freedom, someone worth stopping for. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more Western stories.